What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Cannonballs podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Dane Cannon. Co-hosting with me today is
very nervous Jake Mother effing Bowles on the mic 1-2. What's up, people? How's it going?
Guys, we have a very different, a very exciting episode for you guys today. We're going to be covering the AFC North. We're going division by division, but we are getting into our record predictions. So this will be, Jake and I did this last year. We kind of did our preseason record predictions, just kind of based off of the strength of schedule, which we will also be talking about. We'll just, kind of give a brief overview of where their strength of schedule is and kind of incorporate that a little bit into where we put them in our record predictions. We're going to go game by game, but
I have one thing to say, Dane.
Go for it.
So last year when we did this, we had some good record predictions that came pretty close, and then some not so good. And one of those teams that I kind of kept dunking on was the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you guys have been paying attention to this podcast, I have said that I'm going to punish myself, as an all in good fun for dunking on a professional sports team. I said I was going to do the Pocky One Chip Challenge, and here we are. The day has finally come, ladies and gentlemen.
It has been months in the making. Jake said he was going to do it, and he's actually holding up to it. He's going to do this live on this episode, so you guys are going to be able to see his natural reaction. There's going to be no cuts, no edits when it comes to Jake taking this. So it's going to be a very interesting video. I don't know how well we're going to do. Jake's going to be in a lot of pain. He's going to be in a lot of suffering, but it's going to be exciting. So for those of you who don't know, if you have been following this channel for at least a year or so, I actually did the 2021 version of the Pocky One Chip Challenge. I was in Massachusetts at the time, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. The pain that you feel in the mouth is bad, but it's bearable. It's the stomach cramps that get you. And so Jake and I may have to rush through this one a little bit. Jake is a little bit more prepared. He did have some Pepto-Bismol tabs, and he did take some Tums, so hopefully that helps him out a little bit.
I got a little glass of milk right here.
And he has some milk. So the way that I did it is I did the 5-minute rule, where I went 5 minutes without taking anything, and maybe that fucked me up a little bit more. So Jake, I'm not going to put any rules on this. You don't have to follow the 5-minute rule. Just taking it's painful enough.
All right. I'm just going to open it. I'm going to crack this thing open so we can get started with our first team. So here, let me cut it open. I don't know if you guys can see it with all our fancy background stuff, but I'm opening the box now. Oh,
Jake, do not rub your eyes. I'm telling you right now.
Jesus
do not
Christ.
rub your eyes.
Do I need any of these papers that fall out, Dan?
It's just cool stuff to have.
Oh.
It's just stuff for memories. I have the box somewhere in my drawer because it just shows that you did it.
So unfortunately, this chip is a little bit broken up, so I might just have to crumble it into a dust and chug it. So let's see. I'm opening it.
Do not do that.
All right.
I would take it fast, get it all in there, but don't crush it up and get it a powder, because then you're gonna choke.
Okay. You ready? You guys ready?
Let's do it, baby. All right, guys. They taste like shit, huh? They're dry. They taste
Just like
stale.
absolute dog shit.
Yeah, your tongue's gonna be blue on this one, I heard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jake has entered
the Inferno Zone.
Just
right.
Pure torture. The pure torture
here.
zone. All right, Jake's here.
I'm here.
It'll kick in. Give it about 1 minute to 2 minutes, and then you're really going to start feeling it. So, Jake, let's get on to the first team. We are going to be going with the Baltimore Ravens as our first team.
Jesus Christ.
I do not miss this pain at all.
This fucking sucks. Oh. All right.
Just wait.
Just so you guys,
wait.
just so you guys know, I'm gonna have a playoff predictors up on the screen, just so you can see what wins and losses we're picking for each team. But yeah, Dane, you do most of the talking.
That's fine. All right, so guys, we will be doing playoff predictor. Jake, really quick, let's go over their strength of schedule. Let's just briefly touch on this, and then we'll get into the game by game.
So for the 2023 NFL season, the Baltimore Ravens have the 21st hardest schedule. I don't know. Yeah, easiest schedule. So they made a playoffs last year, but goddamn, I need to spit.
Dude, that's exactly. You saw the video that I did, right? Like
Yeah.
I couldn't swallow after a certain point. I just had to spit.
So yeah, they have the 21st easiest schedule, and it's about fitting. They're kind of a middle of the pack team, barely made the playoffs. But let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. So, Jay, go ahead, pull up playoff predictor if you are able to. We'll go ahead and share your screen, and then we will go game by game. So, guys, we're not going to go too far into depth with each of these teams. We're just kind of basically going to go who we think is going to win. So let's just get into this. First matchup, we have the Houston Texans going to
real quick, Dan. Real quick.
Yeah,
sorry.
Go for it.
Baltimore Ravens finished the season 10-7, 19th in points scored, third in points allowed. They had the 10th overall offense and the 9th best defense. So not too bad, not too shabby without your star quarterback. But let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So first game, we have the Houston Texans traveling to Baltimore. And even though the Houston Texans are new and improved to a certain degree, I still got Baltimore winning this. Baltimore is still a solid defense. I think Lamar Jackson's going to have more weapons to throw to. So I got Baltimore winning this one.
Yeah, easy one for me. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a difficult game, but I think the new multi-million-dollar man is going to want to get a win first. So I got the Ravens as well.
All right, next game, we have Baltimore traveling to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. I think that the Bengals are going to take this. It is early in the season, so anything can happen. I just think the Bengals are a much more complete roster. I think Joe Burrow has a lot better weapons to throw to, so give me the Bengals.
I'm actually going to take the Ravens.
Ooh, all right.
The Bengals have had a tendency to start off slow in the last couple of years, even though they're a solid team. I just they always drop a couple of weird games the last couple of seasons, and I think they do it early in the season. So I got Baltimore.
All right, yeah. I mean, the Bengals did lose to the Browns last year earlier in the season. All right, so next we have the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Baltimore. I got the Ravens winning this one. Baltimore's at home. They're a much better team. Anthony Richardson's going to be starting. He's a rookie quarterback, so give me the Ravens.
Yep, I'm taking the Ravens as well. Not complicating this one. Got a rookie quarterback. He's going to take his lumps.
That he is. All right, next game, we have Baltimore traveling to Cleveland. And this is actually where I have Baltimore having their first loss. I think Cleveland's going to surprise them. I think Deshaun Watson's going to be much more improved than he was last year. I think Cleveland's defense is going to step up this year. So, yeah, give me the Browns, actually.
Yeah, I kind of like that train of thought.
Oh, excuse me. This was my second loss for them. Sorry. I don't know why I said my first loss, second loss.
Well, this is going to be my first loss for the Ravens. This is a tough division. Many think it's the hardest division in the NFL. And just like you said, I think the Browns have greatly improved. Hopefully Deshaun Watson, whether you like him or not, can get back to his old Texan form. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Browns as well.
All right. Next game, we have Baltimore traveling to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. How you doing over there, Jake? How's the mouth?
The mouth, not too bad. It's starting to kind of get a little burning in my stomach, but,
Already? Oh, my God.
Yeah, a little bit. Not cramps, but I just want to spit, dude.
Yeah. See,
I'm going to give it a little bit.
It's bearable. Do you have, like, the pressure and heat in the ears?
Yeah, my eyes have been watering this entire time. My nose is about to start dripping, but Yeah, it's pretty miserable.
All right. Let's get back to it. Baltimore traveling to Pittsburgh, back-to-back division opponents at away or for away games. I'm actually going to pick Baltimore to win this one. I think Baltimore is a better team overall. I think Pittsburgh's going to be a tough outing this year, but give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Pittsburgh also greatly improved, but I still think I don't know. I think the Ravens could be borderline elite with Lamar. I don't really see the Steelers as an elite team just yet. We'll see how Kenny Pickett does though, but I'm taking Baltimore.
All right. So next we have Baltimore traveling again. So 3 road games in a row.
And this one's in London.
Ooh, this is a London game. London games are always harder to predict, in my opinion, just because of the time change. You know, it does throw certain teams off more than others. I just think that Baltimore is a better team. Who even knows who's going to be the starting quarterback for this game? It could be Ryan Tannehill, or it could be the banana eating mayo putting in his coffee fiend. So we'll see. I think that Baltimore wins this one regardless. So give me Baltimore.
You know, these two teams have been turning into a nice, quiet little rivalry. Unless you're like a fan of these teams, but you know, most NFL fans, I feel like, don't know these are they're kind of becoming bitter rivals, and I think it's going to be a close game, but I also think Baltimore pulls out the win.
Okay.
All right. What do we got next, Dan?
All right. Next, we have the Detroit Lions traveling to Baltimore. And I think that this is actually going to be a really close game. I think that the Detroit Lions defense still needs a lot of improvement. I think that they made some moves in the right direction. But the Detroit Lions offense is going to keep them in games. Like, they have one of the best offensive lines. They have a good running attack. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be great. And, you know, if they can perform how they did last year, I think that they'll be solid. So I'm actually going to go Lions here. I think that the Lions are going to do enough offensively to take kind of an upset. I don't know if it's too much of an upset, but I'm going to go Lions.
You know, the Lions barely lost to the Ravens last year by the NFL record field goal. I think they get the revenge this year and hand the Ravens a loss.
All right, so you're on the win for the Lions as well, huh?
Yep.
All right. Next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Arizona to play the Cardinals. I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be playing in this game. I think that, you know, they have too many new pieces out there to kind of have it together at this point in time. So I'm going to go Baltimore with the dub.
Yeah, I'm also taking Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, the question marks around Kyler Murray, the question marks about this entire team. I think the Ravens are just too good. So, Ravens.
Okay. Next game, Seattle traveling to Baltimore. So now Baltimore has a home stand. And I think that Baltimore is actually going to take the first game back at home as an L. I'm going to go Seattle in this one. I think Seattle made some really nice picks in this year's draft. They had a bunch of players who outperformed where they were expected to last year. So I'm actually going to go Seattle winning this one. Give me an L for Baltimore week 9.
Very interesting. Man, Baltimore is a tough place to play. I agree with you. Seahawks are a tough team. Damn. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Seahawks as well. I think they're a better team than the Ravens. I think their wide receiver weapons, running back room.
Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks running back room is ridiculous this year.
Where the Ravens might have an edge is, well, they definitely have an edge in quarterback, and I might have to give the edge in defense until the Seahawks can prove otherwise. I mean, I know they got some big acquisitions, but I still want to see them perform. So, but I'm going to take the Seahawks as well.
Okay. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns traveling to Baltimore. I think the Baltimore Ravens take this one. Yeah, I think that they're going to split this year, so I'm going to give Baltimore the win at home.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens as well.
Okay, Jake, can you tell us how you're feeling?
Yeah,
Can you tell us how you're feeling?
the spiciness has subsided a little bit.
Good.
It's not too bad. I'm gonna wait for the cramps. I think I'm gonna take my first glass of milk or my first drink of milk. I think it's been over the 5 minute mark. So
There you go.
I'm just gonna take a nice little glass of milk.
Oh yeah, do it. It definitely helps subside some of the pain immediately. It kind of comes
Not bad.
back a little bit, but then you can get rid of it again. All right, go ahead.
If you guys hear me scream in pain, it's because the cramps started.
The cramps are the worst part by far.
Yes.
All right. So
right.
week 11, we have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Baltimore. And I think that I had originally given them the L. I'm going to give them the dub. I think that they can split with the Bengals. I think that the Bengals are a better team, but I think Baltimore at home, they've had 3 weeks in a row. They're not traveling as much. I think that these teams game plan for each other really well. And I think Baltimore's defense can possibly come up clutch in this game. So give me the dub.
Man, so this is a Thursday night game, just so you guys know. I had them trading with the Bengals as well. But even though the Bengals have been winning the division in the last couple of years, they like to make things interesting. And you know what? I think the Ravens shut them out for some reason. I'm going to go Ravens.
Wow, a shutout. That's a big statement.
Yeah, right. I don't know. This team with I forget. I think we forget how good this team is with Lamar. If Lamar can stay healthy for all 17 games.
Yep, 17 games.
Yeah, this team, like I said, can be elite, but that's a big if. So, I'm gonna have them beating Bengals twice.
All right, cool. All right, moving on. Week 12. This is an interesting matchup because it's going to depend a lot on health, in my opinion. If the Chargers are, for the most part, healthy, I think that the last time they played Baltimore, it was in Baltimore. They didn't look good. They just didn't have a good offensive scheme ready to play the Ravens defense. But, with Kellen Moore coming into LA, I think that he's going to finally build this momentum. This is the we're more than halfway through the season. They should have some momentum going, and they should be more familiarized with the system. So I'm going to actually go Chargers at home here. I think that, the addition of Quentin Johnson and some defensive pieces coming back. J.C. Jackson should be back. Hopefully he looks how he did in New England. Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. Hopefully Joey Bosa's healthy. So yeah, give me the Chargers here.
All right, I have to look at the rest of your schedule. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it to your boys as well. I think, the Chargers are a big if as well.
Mm-hmm.
If they can stay healthy, they can be a great team, but that's a big if.
That is a big
this
if.
team has pieces. The Chargers have pieces to be elite. So right now on the outside looking in, without any injuries, I'm gonna give it to the Chargers as well. I don't think the Ravens win this division. I think they're a playoff team, but I don't think they win the division. So I'm gonna give it to the Chargers
as well. All right, week 13 we have the bye, and then week 14 they come back. LA is
bye.
It is a good bye. They are playing at home against LA week 14. I'm going to give it to the Ravens. A West Coast team traveling over to the East Coast is always a tough task, especially later in the year. It's going to be a little bit colder in Baltimore. LA teams are fair weather, so it's going to be a tougher task. And we don't know the status of Matthew Stafford, if he's going to be playing or, if we're going to have Stetson Bennett in there at some point. So give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm taking Baltimore as well. Just a better team right now. I think the Rams are going to be. I think if they sleep on the Rams, they could easily lose. But I still think the Ravens should win.
All right. So week 15, we have Baltimore traveling to Jacksonville, and this is very interesting. So Jacksonville, I think, is going to be winning the division, in my opinion, for the AFC South. They're
not
a playoff,
very hard.
Yeah, they're a playoff team, in my opinion. Trevor Lawrence took a great a great leap forward in his second year. Having Doug Peterson definitely helps this team. And now this is their second year in the system, so they're going to be more familiar with it. They build more chemistry. I think adding Tank Bigsby to Travis Etienne is going to be huge. And this defense is only going to get better. So give me the Jags, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I like it. The Jags did improve a lot. This is a hard one for me. I want to think of old Jags teams, but they were pretty good towards the end of last year.
Yeah,
And,
they started off 2-6, and then they finished 9-8.
Yeah.
So they won.
And this is towards the end of the season.
Yeah. They won 7 of their last however many games.
I got a 9-4. Yeah. Okay. Damn, I don't know, because I'm debating whether they lose to this team or the next team. Nine and 4, 10-4.
I mean, shit, they could lose both.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to take the Jags as well. I'm taking the Jags.
All right.
I don't know that I'm excited to see what Calvin Ridley can do in this offense. So
I am too. And, Zay Jones had a pretty good season. Christian Kirk looked good. Evan Ingram, he looked phenomenal for the first time in his career. They really banked on the athleticism. So I think that offense is only going to improve.
Not to mention the Jags defense aren't, nothing to sleep on. So I think it's just a lot of,
and it's a very young team also. So they have more experience in the NFL. So I think the defense is going to improve also, which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to week 16, we have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to your boys, the San Francisco 49ers. I'll let you take this one away first, Jake.
Man, I have, the quarterback situation is again murky for the 49ers, but this is still a top 3 team. This is, in my opinion, one of the top 3 teams in the NFL. I think, if health-wise, if they stay healthy, I think sky's the limit for this team. But I don't have them going undefeated, and I have them losing 2 games this year. And this is one of them. So I'm having the 49ers lose to the Ravens.
Wow.
Yeah. I just looking at the 49ers.
You're picking the Ravens, right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I'm picking the Ravens just because they don't do particularly well against mobile quarterbacks. And looking at the rest of their schedule, I honestly think they can go 15-2. And I think they lose to the Ravens. I think that's one of their losses. So
very interesting take. I actually have them losing this. I got your boys, the 49ers.
All right. Hey, I hope I'm wrong.
It's very interesting because the 49ers are another one of those teams kind of like the Chargers, but not to a certain degree with injury. A lot of this is going to be on the health of the 49ers. I think that the defense is still going to be solid. They had some moving pieces on the defense. They also added Javon Hargrave. I think he's going to be a great addition on that defensive line. And then, they had a couple movements on the offensive line as well. But I still think that they're just a more complete team. But we'll see who the quarterback is at this point, because that may kind of change my direction with who wins this if, they're on their 3rd string quarterback. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully everyone's healthy for the 49ers. But
if they're down to a 3rd string quarterback, we're looking at Sam Darnold. And I don't really, have much hope for him. But we'll see. I don't know. I might change my mind. Maybe I'll have the 49ers going 16-1. All right, let's go on to the next one.
All right, we have the Miami Dolphins traveling to Baltimore. I think Miami is it's an interesting take. I think Miami is a better team, but I'm actually going to go Baltimore here. I think that the home crowd, I think the weather plays a factor in this. It's going to be freaking cold at this point in time. And according to my predictions, the Ravens are going to be fighting for a playoff spot right now. They're going to be fighting for a wild card at this point in time. I think they're going to be playing their hearts out. And, a lot of this is also going to be contingent on Tua's health if he's the quarterback at this point in time. They have like one of the most dynamic offensive weapons in Tyreek Hill. And then you also have Jalen Waddle. You just have speed everywhere. They drafted Devon A-Chain, and these guys are all running 4.2s or 4.3s. So like the speed on this team is ridiculous. But I think Baltimore at home, they're just going to have something to play for. Give me Baltimore.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think if the Dolphins can stay healthy all around, all their weapons, Tua especially, I think this is a dark horse Super Bowl contender. But I personally, history repeats itself. I don't think Tua stays healthy the entire season, unfortunately. I think they look for his replacement in the offseason. Unfortunately, I'm not like a Tua hater. I'm not an Alabama fan or anything, but I do like his story. But I'm going to take the Ravens here. I can't trust Tua's health, to be honest.
Okay, so you got them winning again. All right, last game. Jake, can you scroll up? What week did they play Pittsburgh before?
They played them in week 5.
Week 5. Okay. So I
had them winning. The Ravens winning.
I had the Ravens winning as well. Oh, this is tough. Like, I usually think that division opponents split, and I like Pittsburgh, and Tomlin's never had a losing season, but for some reason I want to take Baltimore again. I think that Baltimore actually 2-0s them.
Yeah.
Give me Baltimore. I think Baltimore takes it.
Okay. I like it. I mean, this is all, it's hard to predict when, everyone's healthy. We'll see. There's a lot of potential injuries on the Ravens, that could happen on both sides. But, I mean, it's football. But Lamar hasn't been the epitome of health. Is that the right word? Epitome? He hasn't been the epitome? I forget what the word is.
Epitome.
But, yeah, of health. But you know what? Maybe it was due to his contract. And now that he has a contract, maybe he's like, F it, I'm going to F around and win me a Super Bowl. Or,
maybe he'll just poop his pants and like keep playing. Maybe he won't even have to go to the bathroom.
Hey, wheelchair game, baby. But I do want to pick the Ravens over the Steelers. I could see them going 12-5. Yeah, I'm doing it. Ravens over Steelers. I think they shut them out.
All right, so you have them going 12-5, right?
Yep, 12-5. I got them going 12-5, 5-1 in the division. Might be a little rich. That's a tough division. Damn,
I think that's rich for me.
Yeah,
I have them going 10-7.
I might want to change a couple picks now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think for my picks, I have them going 10-7.
All right. Sorry, guys. I do this when we did this in the past, but I am changing the Bengals pick. I don't think they go 5-1 in the division. 11-6. I like that. I like that for the Ravens. So you have them at 11-6 as well?
10-7.
Yeah, I think that's right around their range. I think best case scenario. I mean, they have a tough division, but best case scenario, if they stay healthy and if their wide receivers can perform, because they have a nice little wide receiver room now.
Yeah, like, especially with OBJ coming in.
Yeah, OBJ, Duvernay. Who's the guy they just drafted?
Rashad Bateman.
Oh, Rashad Bateman, and the dude they just drafted.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah, they might have a nice little wide receiver room, and the running back room. I'm not.
J.K. Dobbins is coming back. Yeah. He should be healthy.
Yeah, hopefully he stays healthy. If he can stay healthy, if Lamar can stay healthy, that run game, we're forgetting about Mark Andrews, man. He's the top 3 tight end. So I think not sky's the limit. I think this could be another, dark horse Super Bowl contender. They just need to stay healthy.
Yeah, Lamar has not been healthy near the end of the season the last 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah. And also they have a pretty not easy, but they have like some hard teams. The Bengals, division opponents are going to be tough. Seahawks are going to be tough. Chargers are going to be tough if they're healthy. Niners are going to be tough if they're healthy. Yeah. Dolphins are going to be tough if they're healthy. But yeah, I like it. I like it.
All right, so final predictions for me and Jake. I have them 10-7. Jake has them 11-6. So, I think that you said it right around or we said that's right around where they're going to go. I think that they're going to be a playoff team. I don't have them winning the division. I think that they're going to be a wild card team. But, a lot of this is just contingent on health. And that's typically how it plays out at the end of the season. The team that's usually the healthiest usually ends up making it to the Super Bowl. So,
yes, sir.
Health is wealth in this league. All right. Let's move on to the next team. So we finished the Ravens. Let's move on to the Cincinnati Bengals. And I hate to say it, but this team I have winning the division again. Since Joe Burrow has come to this program, they're a different breed. Joe Burrow is easily in a tier of his own, like Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if I would say they're in the same division because they kind of have different play styles, but I think that they're just two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And, it kind of sucks seeing him come into the same draft as Justin Herbert, because it reminds me of Phillip Rivers coming in with Ben Roethlisberger and Eli Manning, because then they both win Super Bowls and Phillip Rivers didn't. Hope it's not history repeating itself, but I can definitely see Joe Burrow winning a Super Bowl, at least one or two. And
it's already been to one.
Yeah, he's already been to one, and they may have or should have won that, possibly. Some calls could have come back, but that's in the past. Let's move on to their strength of schedule. Jake, do you have that by any chance?
Yeah. So the Bengals have the according to CBS, sorry, I should have said that earlier, folks. But according to CBS, the Bengals have the 17th hardest schedule. So again, if you believe, are you paused, Dane?
No. Oh, what the hell?
Oh.
Hang on one second. Okay,
Sorry
we're good.
About that.
We're good.
If you guys pay attention or believe strength of schedule is a thing, I also tend to think maybe it's just inflated a little bit or distorted or whatever you want to call it. But for an elite team like the Bengals, that's a pretty good number for the Bengals. But let's get into their 2023 season. And if you guys haven't noticed, I am not salivating everywhere. I'm doing fine. Cramps haven't started, so I'm talking more. Let's do this, baby.
Yeah, we got about 30 minutes until Jake's cramps should start, but hopefully, like I said, you're a little bit more prepared than me. You did take Pepto and you did take Tums, so hopefully that actually helps and you don't have to deal with what I had to. All right, let's move on to the Cincinnati. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Cincinnati Bengals. Sorry, I just wanted to tell people their last year accolades. They finished the season 12-4. They were 8th in points scored, 5th in points allowed. Wow, I did not know that. Overall, they were the 6th ranked team. Offense, they were 7th, and defense, they were tied for 11th. They have a sneaky good defense.
Yeah, their defense is solid for sure.
All right. Let's see what they got in store for us. All right, you want to kick us off, Dane?
Yes, I will kick us off. So, week 1, Cincinnati traveling to Cleveland. This could anything can happen in week 1. I think that the Browns definitely have the capabilities of beating the Bengals. And I know that you said previously that the Bengals typically come off to a slow start. I don't think that it happens. They do have back-to-back division games, but I have them beating the Browns. I need to see it from Deshaun Watson until I'm a believer. I think that he will look better, but it's how much better is he going to be? So TBD on the quarterback play in Cleveland. And because I think Joe Burrow is much better regardless, I'm going to go Bengals. I have them winning this game.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose some early games, but not this one. I'm taking the Bengals as well. I already picked the Ravens to beat the Bengals. I believe Dane picked the Bengals to beat the Ravens week 2.
I did.
But week 3, we got a Super Bowl rematch, revenge on Monday night. We got the LA Rams traveling to Cincinnati to face the Bengals. Give me the Bengals, man.
Give me the Bengals as well.
I think they get the revenge. They kind of sustained their Super Bowl team, whereas the Rams did not. Anytime to dunk on the Rams, I will. They are the definition of, all in on one year. But I I think the Bengals are a far better team as of right now.
Yeah, give me the Bengals as well, just because I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for the Rams. Plus, they lost Jalen Ramsey. They lost notable players on offense and defense. They're still rebuilding the offensive line. So give me the Bengals.
Yep. All right. Who you got week 4, Dane?
Week 4, I think this is actually going to be a closer game than people think. I think that a lot of people are going to kind of overlook this one. And Tennessee's defense was devastated with injuries last year. I think that this will actually be a lot closer scoring game and a low scoring game. I think this will be maybe like a 17-14 game, honestly, in my opinion, because this is where that slow start can come into play. However, I don't think that they lose. I think the Bengals take this one. Give me the Bengals.
You know what? I'm going to go Titans. I think, the Titans just have a way of winning weird games just because they have when healthy, they have a solid defense, that run game. I don't care who's starting, that quarterback doesn't really do much in that offense. It's the Derrick Henry show. And, until he's proven to be that he can get stopped, I'm going to ride him. So, I'm going to take Titans.
All right. I like it. Interesting. All right. Next game, we have Cincinnati traveling to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Again, Kyler Murray is probably not going to be playing. They have a brand new system, brand new coach. They're going to be getting a lot of young players out there in positions of need. And give me the Bengals.
Yeah, give me the Bengals as well. Week 6, we got the Seahawks traveling to the Bengals. This is going to be a good game.
I think this is going to be a great game.
I'm actually excited for this game. And this is a good, not necessarily, but, if the Seahawks can compete with the Bengals, it's going to be a good tell to see how they're going to be, in the 49ers division. So I'll be watching this. I'll be monitoring this game closely, but I still think the Bengals are a better team than the Seahawks. I'm taking the Bengals, and it's at home.
I'm right there with you. I'm going Bengals. I have them winning the first 6 games of the year. That's crazy. Yeah.
6-0?
6-0. 6-0. We'll see how far it stretches, though, because they have 2 really tough matchups coming up. Week 7, they do have their bye, which is an early-ish bye.
Yep. I think... Oh, they have 3 tough games in a row. Oh. They have 3 tough games in a row. But we got Cincinnati at the 49ers, week 8.
Who do you think's the quarterback at this point for the 49ers?
It's hard to say, man. I think they want Brock Purdy to start week 1. If he's healthy.
I think so too.
I think he's done enough to, earn the job. But from everything I'm hearing, they're going to give Lance a shot, if he looks good and if he outperforms Brock Purdy. I mean, that's just a good problem to have. If your quarterback can play better than Brock Purdy was playing last year, your quarterback is balling out. But I think it's going to be Brock Purdy if his shoulder is healthy.
It's his elbow, isn't it?
Yeah, my fault. Elbow. I couldn't think of it. Ulnar, is it right? Ulnar? Tommy John, whatever the hell it was. Yeah. Damn, this one's a little tough, but I'm gonna take the 49ers. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 49ers.
So I'm in the same boat. I'm going to take the 49ers on a contingency. If Brock Purdy is the quarterback, give me the dub. If Trey Lance is the quarterback, just because of the inexperience, I think Brock Purdy's going to start. But if Trey Lance is starting, in my opinion, that means that Brock Purdy had another injury. If Sam Darnold's the quarterback, I'm going Cincinnati. If Trey Lance is the quarterback, give me Cincinnati. But I think Brock Purdy's going to be in. And because of that, I'm going 49ers as well. So give me an L.
I'll say if Trey Lance wins the starting job at the beginning of the season, he's going to have enough time to be acclimated in that offense. So I would say Trey Lance, give me the dub. If it's Brock Purdy, give me the dub. If it's Sam Darnold, I'm taking the Bengals. I'm sorry. I just don't have faith in that guy. I'm
Understandable.
sorry. All right. Week 9, another tough matchup. We got the Buffalo Bills in Cincinnati. I'm taking the Bengals.
I'm right there with you. I'm taking the Bengals as well.
Honestly, last couple years, the Bills have kind of disappointed me, and I'm just gonna pick them to lose hard games like that until they can prove otherwise, because they're proving that they're kind of start out hot. They did it last 2 years in a row, and then they get cold, and then they get hotter in the end of the season, and make the playoffs or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, if you just watch the divisional round where the Bengals and Bills played, the Bengals just manhandled them. They just ran the field up and down, left and right. They imposed their will. And I don't think that it's necessarily going to be the same thing, but I think the Bengals just have a more complete team at this point. I think the Bills are a good offense, but I don't think that the Bills have a better defense. And I think the better defense wins this one. So give me the Bengals.
All right. Week 10. Take it away, Dan.
Give me a dub.
Yeah. That one's easy. Sorry to dunk on the Texans, but it's going to be...
The Texans are too young. They're too young at this point. The Bengals have been to the Super Bowl. They pretty much have the same roster for the most part. So they're just a more complete team.
Yeah. That's going to be a tough game for CJ Stroud. Week 11, I changed mine from the Ravens winning, but we both got the Bengals winning on Thursday night. We have them splitting. Week 12, we got the Steelers.
So yeah, I have Cincinnati losing this week. Yeah.
Oh, week 11?
Week 11, yeah. I had Baltimore winning.
We had them switched, huh? Yeah, we have them switched. Okay, my fault. My fault, guys. I just lied to you. All right, week 12, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the Bengals. I really want to say the Steelers have improved. They have, but did they prove enough to beat the Bengals? I don't know, dude. I mean, I already got 3 losses for the Bengals. Nah, I'm not going to have them losing this one. I'm taking the Bengals.
I'm taking the Bengals as well. The Bengals are at home. Cincy's a tough place to play, especially against division opponents. So, yeah, give me the Bengals.
Ooh, this is a good test. This is a good test for this young team. Week 13, we got the Bengals traveling to the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday night. What do you got, Dane?
As much as I was hyping up the Jags against Baltimore, give me the Bengals. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to just continue to improve, especially with Doug Peterson. I think this is going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be an exciting game. Give me the Bengals, though.
All right, I have to look at their season. Only losing 3 games. I could see it. Will it happen? I don't know. I could see them winning the number 1, honestly. Ooh. I guess I'm gonna have to do it. Yeah, give me the Bengals as well.
All right.
I think I think it's gonna be a good game, though. I do.
I
think it's gonna be a 2023 game.
Week 14, right. I'm not going to talk too much about it. It's the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Cincinnati. Unfortunately, I just don't think the Colts have that much firepower this year. A lot's going to be TBD with Anthony Richardson and what this offense is going to look like. Plus, their defense is not great at this point in time. Offensive line is still struggling. So give me the Bengals.
Same. Week 15, Minnesota Vikings against the Bengals on Saturday. This could be... I have a hard time with the Vikings. They have a good team on offense. Their defense, I don't know. They were atrocious last year. And if it's the same defense as last year, they're not going to be able to stop this Bengals team. Damn. Give me the Bengals.
All right. Yeah.
7
this
in a
is
row.
this is tough for me. I think that this is one of those games that the Bengals could drop because the offense of Minnesota is really, really good. They did lose Dalvin Cook. Their defense still is not great. They did add shoot, why am I forgetting his name from the draft from USC?
Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison, thank you. They did add Jordan Addison. Pairing him with Justin Jefferson, I think, is a good pair. I think that's a good wide receiver duo. However, I am going to go Bengals as well. I think that they have just a better trio.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Week 16, we got the Bengals at the Steelers. I got them 3-1 in the division. Who do I have them losing to? The Ravens? You know, this is a tough division. I'm gonna give the Steelers one here. I'm gonna have them winning.
I actually wrote that down as well. I think Pittsburgh at home, the fans are going to be freaking nuts. I think they're going to be crazy, tired of losing to the Bengals. So, yeah, I think that Kenny Pickett's going to have something to prove. And, again, like I said, Mike Tomlin at the end of the year always knows how to rally his team and get that team playing well. So, give me the Steelers.
Yep. All right. I like it. And week 17, one of the most heated rivalries in the NFL right now. If you guys have been paying attention to NFL news, the Bengals and the Chiefs have just been going at it ever since the playoffs last year, before that too. And they I think they've faced each other the last 3 years in the playoffs. But both these teams have made it to the AFC Championship 3 years in a row, or was it 4 years? I forget. I think it's 3 years. But these are the top teams in the AFC, arguably the top teams in the entire NFL. But I mean, the Chiefs got the best of them last.
See, even though the Chiefs did win, I hate to say it, and I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I don't think that my bias has anything to do with how much I hate the Chiefs. I did not like the way that game was called, like penalty-wise, reffing-wise. I think that there were some calls that were against the Bengals that were unnecessary, in my opinion. And they had beaten the Chiefs, 3 times in a row playing them? Like, they had not lost. I just think that the Bengals match up really well with the Chiefs. I do.
I do too. But they're probably going to see each other in the playoffs. And
Agreed.
The winner of that game is probably going to go to the Super Bowl. Potentially. Unless the Jets come around. Damn, this one is hard, but I'm just going to go Chiefs. I'm going to go better quarterback. Okay. That's the defining factor for me.
Give me the Bengals. I think that, Burrowhead is going to continue. I just think that he knows how to play in Arrowhead. I really do. And because of that, I only had them losing 2 games before this. So actually, no, I had them losing 3.
Who did I?
So I have them 13-3 at this point.
Who do you have in the last game?
I'm actually going to go Browns because I think that they're going to be the number 1 seed. I think that the Bengals rest their starters. So I think the Browns can pull it off.
I'm going to have them winning this game.
Okay.
I think they win the division, and both 11-6. Maybe I need to have them winning some more games. Who do I have them losing to? Steelers, Chiefs, Niners, Ravens, Titans.
Yeah, I have the Bengals going 13-4.
I got them going 11-6. I think that's way too low. What did I say they finished last year? 12-4.
I think, or like 12-5, whatever.
Yeah, they were 12-4 last year. So I got to change one of these games up, and I'm gonna have them beating the Steelers. No, you know what? I'm gonna have them beating the Chiefs. No, I'm gonna have them beating the Bengals or the Browns. Yeah, I think they win the division by a game, by one game. So, yep, I got the Bengals going 12-5.
All right. Yeah, I got Cincy going 13-4. You know, we're right around the same mark. You were higher on Baltimore than I was, and I'm higher on Cincy than you are. All right, we have reached the 50-minute mark. Jake, if you're going to start experiencing cramps, you'll probably start experiencing them in the next 10 minutes. If not, then Tums and Pepto did their job, which is freaking awesome. Let's move on just in case. So, after the Cincinnati Bengals, we are going to be transitioning to the Cleveland Browns.
And we didn't really get to talk about this, but behind us, folks, is the new logo for the Cleveland Browns. I think it's pretty cool because I saw the girl who created this on Instagram, and I saw her create it, and it's a really cool logo. I think it's better than what they've had for years. So
yeah, and they were called the Dog Pound. So now it's an actual representation of the Dog Pound. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. So there you go, Cleveland. Shout out. But let's get into the Cleveland Browns, Dane.
All right, let's do it.
So according to CBS, the Browns have the 26th hardest schedule. So
very easy.
Yeah, easy. Their combined opponents are 131 at 154-2. So I don't know how the hell they got that number. What the hell is that?
I do not know.
Opponents combined record. Got it. All right. So all their opponents combined records added up to that. You learned something new. But there you have it. They're at number 26. Let's get into their schedule. I don't want to waste any more of your guys' time. All right, Dane, who we got week 1 for the Cleveland Browns?
As soon as it is up on the screen, I will let you know. All right, so week 1, we just talked about this. They are playing the Cincinnati Bengals. I had Cincinnati winning this one, so I have Cleveland starting off 0-1.
Right on. Week 2, we got the Browns traveling to Pittsburgh. I do think they trade, so I'm going to give home field advantage to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have them going 0-2 to start the season as well.
All right. Week 3, pretty juicy matchup potentially. Titans at the Cleveland Browns. Oh, by the way, that Pittsburgh game is Monday night. But Titans at the Cleveland Browns. Who you got?
Give me Cleveland. I think that they bounce back at home. I think that they get it done. I think Nick Chubb has a hell of a game because I think that this Tennessee defense is going to, I think they'll pick off Deshaun Watson once or twice this game, but I think that Nick Chubb's going to be utilized. And yeah, I just got a weird feeling Cleveland's going to rally back and win this one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns as well here. I already had the Browns beating the Ravens. I believe you had it the other way around, Dane, for week 4.
Week 4, I had I had Cleveland winning.
Oh, okay. Week 5, they have an early bye. Pretty shitty. I hate early buys like that. But they have 2 hard matchups, but they have a bye to rest in between them. Week 6, they got the 49ers traveling to Cleveland. Who do you got, Dane?
Give me your boys, the 49ers. I think this defense is just going to be too much for Deshaun Watson. I think that they're going to send him back to the massage parlor.
Yeah, I think regardless of quarterback, unless it's Sam Darnold, I'm going 49ers.
I think even Sam Darnold would win this one just because I think the 49ers defense is going to be too much. They're great against the run. And, I like the weapons in Cleveland, but I just need to see Deshaun Watson play. If he goes back to how he was in Houston, then, this could be a lot more interesting matchup. But based off of his performance from last year, can't see it.
Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers as well. But week 7, we got the Browns traveling to Indianapolis. I think the Browns win this one. I do
as well.
Yeah, I think they're both not even, but I think Deshaun Watson is probably a better quarterback right now. I think their run game is better. Defense is definitely better. So yeah, I think that's not an easy one, but I think it's a good game for them to, kind of get their season back on track.
Yeah, agreed. So week 8, we have Cleveland traveling to Seattle. I think this is actually going to be a really fun game. I think this is going to be an exciting game. You got great running backs on both sides. I think Deshaun Watson kind of earns his stride, or gets his stride going at this point, gains some momentum. So it's tough because I love the running game with Seattle, and Cleveland last year was not great at stopping the run. And Seattle's at home. Give me Seattle. I think Seattle gets it done on the ground.
Okay. I have the Browns being a lot better than they were last year, and I got to give them some wins somewhere. So let me look at the rest of their season. You know what? I think I'm gonna have them meeting the Seahawks here.
Okay.
I don't think the Seahawks are gonna be bad, but I don't think the Seahawks are gonna be elite, like where they're just manhandling every team. And I think they could lose to the Browns. I think Deshaun Watson kind of shows us, what we've been missing when he was in Houston. So I'm going to take the Browns here.
All right. I like it. Week 9, I got the Browns winning this one. They are at home. I have them bouncing back against a struggling Arizona team who's probably at this point realizing they're fighting for the number 1 pick. Even though it's not even fully throughout the season, we're just getting to the halfway mark. I don't think Kyler Murray is going to come back to a losing team. So give me the Browns.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns as well. Don't complicate it. Week 10, I had the Ravens beating the Browns. What about you, Dane?
I had the Ravens winning, so I have the Browns losing in week 10.
All right. Week 11, we have the Steelers traveling to Cleveland. I said they were going to split, so I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns this time.
Okay, week 11. Yeah, I'm going to pick Cleveland at home. I'll have them winning this one as well.
All right. Week 12 is a very, very interesting matchup. Both these quarterbacks have a lot to prove. Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. At one point, they looked like the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. Now, they look like some of the worst. I believe they both have the ability to come back. I both believe they are on pretty good teams, but I think both these teams rely on their quarterback for their wins, like most teams. But man, I think the Denver Broncos have a better defense.
Agreed.
And I think the addition of Sean Payton is going to be. I think this is going to be a good game, but I'm going to take the Broncos.
It's tough. Russell Wilson just did not look great last year by any means. I think Sean Payton's going to get him back on track, kind of, not allow Russ to be a dickhead and have his own office and all that stuff and try and act higher than players. I'm not the highest on Jerry Jeudy. I like Greg Dulcich because he's an alumni of my high school as well. The defense is great. Javonte Williams should be coming back. This is a tough one, man. I'm honestly 50-50. I'm probably going to go Cleveland, actually. I think that they get it done. I think it's going to be a middle of the pack scoring offense for both teams. I think it'll be in the 20s. I think it'll be like 24-21, and I'm going to go Cleveland winning this one.
I could see this as a low scoring game. I think the Broncos have enough on that defense to keep it low scoring. I think the Browns have some pieces. They have Myles Garrett, and depending on how Russell Wilson's playing, if he's playing like shit, this could be a low scoring game. But yeah. All right, cool. All right, week 13, we got the Browns traveling to LA to face the Rams. I think this is one of those teams that the Browns can win and lose to. I have them. Where did I have them finishing at? Oh, I didn't even have that. Oh, my fault, guys. I meant to tell you that. before we get into my pick, sorry, what the freak? Okay, I just want to show you where they finished because I think they improve from last year. Okay, they're 7-10. They were 7-10, 18th in points scored, 20th in points allowed. They had the 10th offense, which is hard to believe with Jacoby Brissett, and they had the 25th ranked defense. But Myles Garrett was out like pretty much all of last year, correct?
Yeah, he was out for a good period of time.
Damn. I think the Rams win.
Dude, what the fuck? I was gonna pick the Rams too.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to surprise some people this year. As much as I hate to say it, I don't mind like the Rams being awful, as it should be. But I think the Rams are going to surprise some teams this year, and I think they're going to surprise some NFL fans. So I'm going to take the Rams here.
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually thinking Cam Akers could actually have a really good game here. I think Cooper Kupp will be healthy at this point in the season. I think Matthew Stafford should be back. They added Steve Avila as a guard. I think he can help in pass blocking. And I think Byron Young can actually have a pretty good day helping out Aaron Donald on the defensive line. So
did you see he's going to wear number 0?
Really? I did not see that. That's kind of sick. Yeah. Having an edge rusher wear 0, that's pretty tight. All right, give me the Rams.
All right. We are in agreement. So I got the Browns at 6-7 right now.
I think I have them at 6-7 also.
Right on. All right. Week 14, tough matchup for the Browns. We got the Jags coming to Cleveland. The battle of Louis versus Jordan. Fantasy mates, your college friends.
Yeah.
Friends of my friend. I guess they're my friends now too, since we all play fantasy together. But man, this one's hard. I'm going to let you take this one. I need to think about this one a little bit more.
God, see, it's funny because I think that we think so similarly when it comes to analyzing these games. The reason why it's tough for me is because the Jags do drop games where I think they should win. And I think the Jags should beat the Cleveland Browns. I think Deshaun Watson should be in his comfort zone at this point, be familiar with the system, kind of knock the rush should be off by this point in time. But the Jags, I just think it's tough because the Jags are younger. Like they have a younger team. Mm-hmm. Browns are at home. I actually have the Browns. Give me the Browns. I think they're going to surprise some people. I think most of the betting market's going to be on the Jags, and I think the Browns upset them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be fair if I said the Rams were going to surprise some people. I think the Browns are going to surprise some people as well this year. I don't think they're going to be as bad, and I like it. I think I'm going to take the Browns beating the Jags as well. I think they're still a young team. I think they can drop some. I think Deshaun Watson has one of those vintage Deshaun Watson games. Week 15, this is an interesting matchup. We got the Chicago Bears traveling to Cleveland on Saturday. I like Justin Fields. I do. I just don't think the Bears still haven't done enough to win, multiple games. I think they'll probably be in the 5-6 win games, 4 or 5 games. Let me see their schedule. This one's hard for me too. But what do I have them at? I got them at 7-7. You know what? I'm gonna have the Browns winning this one.
I'm gonna have the Browns winning this one as well.
Yeah, I just have a little bit of a storyline that I'm going to build up. So
I think this is actually going to be a nice, high-scoring game. I think Justin Fields, after seeing where the Bears led their offense last year, Justin Fields can run on any team. It seems like he's got the legs, he's got the speed, he's got the power, the elusiveness, etc. I think he gets it done against the Browns defense, but I also think the Browns are going to score on Chicago's defense. I don't think Chicago's defense is elite or good by any means. I think that they're middle of the pack, maybe below average. So because of that, I think Cleveland can have a good running day as well. So I think the Browns take this one in a high scoring game.
All right. So the reason I picked the Browns beating the Bears is because I have a little bit of a storyline here. We got 8-7. The Browns are fighting for that wild card. And who comes to town? Or who do they go to? The Texans. Deshaun Watson revenge game. But does he get his revenge? No, sir, baby.
Dude.
The Texans are going to beat the Cleveland Browns, and this is going to be an iconic win for CJ Stroud, baby.
God damn it. I wish that you could see fucking blacked out
Let me hear your reasoning, Dane. Let me hear it.
I actually have the Houston Texans winning this one as well. It's crazy.
All right.
I wrote it down, but I was hoping that the camera would get it. But, with the background removal and all that stuff, it kind of makes it a little bit challenging. I was trying to show my camera because I had written that one down as well. I don't necessarily think that it's because there's the title of the revenge game. It is a revenge game for Deshaun Watson, don't get me wrong. But I just think that Houston Texans have an act for upsetting teams when they least expect it. Go for it, Jake.
That is true. I think it's more of a Houston Texans revenge game, if I'm being completely honest. But the Texans upset some teams and were very close to upsetting a lot of teams last year. I think they almost beat the Chargers last year, didn't they?
The Texans? Yeah, they came back. Yeah. I mean, the Chargers were up by like 21 points at half, and then they didn't score afterwards. I think they scored like one field goal, and then the Texans made it within 3. Yeah,
and that's without, hopefully a good quarterback. And I do think the Texans improved, but I think they're going to do it. They're going to play their hearts out. They're going to want to win. And they're going to want to win for D'Amico. I'm going to give it to them. All right, Week 17. We got the Jets coming to Cleveland. Right now, I got the Browns 8-7. And what did they finish the year last year? 7-10. So they've already improved by a game.
I'll take this one away while you think. Yeah, I have the New York Jets taking this. I think we're going to see not vintage Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that he's going to be able to get to that point physically anymore. But I think that we see a drastic improvement from how he looked last year with that offense in Green Bay. I think that him and Garrett Wilson are going to develop a relationship, not as well as him and Devontae Adams, but he definitely has talked him up in a similar fashion as Devontae Adams. So I think that Garrett Wilson is amazing as a wide receiver. The New York Jets have a good defense. It's well coached. You have Saleh over there, who's a good head coach as well. I think this offense is going to have a good run game to pair with the pass game. And Aaron Rodgers, I think that he has that passion as well. And he's bringing players that he played with in Green Bay over. He's bringing over everyone. So give me the Jets.
All right. I like it. I don't want to be like too much on the Jets bandwagon, but I kind of want them to just win the Super Bowl this year. I think it'd just be hilarious. I kind of like when super teams are just formed and it works. But yeah, I'm going to go to the Jets. I'm gonna take the Jets. I think and then I have the Bengals beating the Browns Week 18, so they dropped their last 3 to finish the season at 8-9, which is an improvement, I guess.
Flip the numbers for me. I have them going 9-8 because remember I had them beating Cincinnati, who I have as my number 1 seed, and resting their starter. So I have Cleveland winning their 18th game. So I have Cleveland going 9-8.
All right, I could see them beating. Honestly, I could see the 49ers game a close game, especially at home. I think the Browns could beat the 49ers. I don't think it's impossible, Let's see. Who do I could also see the Seahawks beating the Browns. I could see the Browns beating the Broncos. I could see the Browns beating the Rams. And I could definitely see the Browns beating the Texans. I'm mainly just doing that for the story in my heart. And you know what? Maybe the Bengals do rest their starters and the Browns win that game Week 18. So, yeah, I got them going 8-9.
Okay. So this is, I think, the second team in a row that I have a little higher than you. You were higher on Baltimore, and I've been higher on Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm just doing it right now. I think there's, we always do it in the off season, and then we do it right before the week starts. But yeah, just what I have right now. But let's get into the next team, Dane, and the last team.
Yeah, so the last team, right after the Cleveland Browns, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have the 25th hardest, easiest schedule. So, prime for a team of their caliber. I think they could do some damage. I think they also improved, just like the Browns. But they have a sophomore quarterback, Kenny Pickett, and there is such a thing as the sophomore slump. But the Steelers finished last year, 2022, 9-8. They were 26th in points scored, not that great. They were 10th in points allowed, pretty good. Middle of the pack in everything, really. They were 18th overall, tied 18th. They were 16th on offense, 18th on defense, and yeah, so middle. They're a middle of the pack team. I don't think there's really anything about them that is elite, besides maybe TJ Watt. But let's get into their schedule.
Pittsburgh did have one of those drafts that was top of my leaderboard this year. So I do think, because TJ Watt also was hurt a good portion of last year as well. So I think having him back, I think that they made some improvements on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. So I actually think Pittsburgh is one of those teams where their record may not accurately display how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Starting off week 1, we have San Francisco traveling to Pittsburgh. And I'm going to surprise you, Jake, but I have seen San Francisco start off slowly as well. I actually have Pittsburgh winning week 1, and we saw it happen in Chicago last year, a team that we expected the 49ers to steamroll. And, the 49ers, they are kind of back and forth in their record, to start the season. And then when they play the Rams, then they get their season on track. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers, actually.
Yeah, I don't think they start off slow this year. I think there's a little bit of urgency with the 49ers this year. Especially if, Brock Purdy comes out firing. So I think they take week 1. Going 49ers. Week 2, already had the Steelers beating the Browns on Monday night. You as well, right, Dan?
Correct.
Or was it okay. All right, week 3, we have the Steelers traveling to the Las Vegas Raiders.
I have Pittsburgh winning this because Jimmy G may not even be the quarterback. Devontae Adams is talking on Twitter. He's kind of talking about his displeasure with the way that they want to utilize the quarterback and the offense. I don't think that the Raiders have a good cornerback room. I think that they're going to have a great pass rush, and their offensive weapons are great, but their offensive line is not. I think the Steelers actually start off the season 3-0. Give me the Steelers.
Yeah, I'll give them that one. I think they're a better team than the Raiders right now. Until proven otherwise. On paper, the Raiders can be a good team. But until proven otherwise, I think the Steelers get that one. Week 4, we got the Steelers traveling to Houston. I think this is a game they can win. I got the Steelers.
This is funny because I'm actually going to go Houston here. I think this is a little bit of an upset because I don't know how they're going to game plan. This is a brand new coach, DeMeco Ryan. It's going to be a brand new offense, brand new quarterback. This is going to be a different looking Houston Texans team. And because of that, I think it's going to be hard to game plan for this team early in the season, and then teams will start to catch up to them. So give me the Houston Texans upsetting them.
All right. We got an early-ish bye week for. Oh no. We got I already picked the Ravens to beat the Steelers.
I did as well.
Week 5, and then they got an early bye week, week 6. Week 7, they are traveling to Los Angeles to play the Los Angeles Rams. Like I said, I think the Rams are going to surprise some teams. I think the Steelers might surprise some teams, but I think I'm gonna take the Rams here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams. I think the Rams are gonna surprise some teams.
I think that's interesting. I'm going on the opposite side of things. I'm taking Pittsburgh here.
Okay. Any reason?
I think that because this is still somewhat early in the season, and so it's kind of to be determined who's going to be the quarterback, because Stafford still hasn't even like really gone through his throwing motions yet. He hasn't participated. So if he's out there, I think Stetson Bennett can get it done, but I just don't think that the Rams have too many defensive pieces. And I think Najee Harris is going to have a better offensive line in front of him. I think that they can get the running game going. And even though they have Aaron Donald and Byron Young, I think Byron Young, who is a rookie, is going to take some time to develop a little bit. And so it's going to be Aaron Donald and then pretty much no one at that point in time, because the Rams, they gave up Bobby Wagner again. They lost Jalen Ramsey. So the secondary is kind of depleted.
Yeah. All right. Week 8, we got the Jags traveling to the Steelers. Give me the Jags.
Give me the Jags as well.
Week 9, Thursday night, we got the Titans traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think this is going to be an interesting, low-scoring game. I think this is going to be a good defensive battle.
All right. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. Tennessee, it's Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Treylon Burks. And who knows who the quarterback's even going to be. But other than Treylon Burks, their wide receiver room isn't that good. Okonkwo could have some role in this game for Tennessee, but this is Tennessee's defense. And I think that Pittsburgh's defense is just going to be better than Tennessee's offense. And I think Pittsburgh will score more points. So yeah, give me the Steelers.
I think regardless of the quarterback situation, I think it's going to be Ryan Tannehill, unless he gets hurt. I think that's the only way Will Levis gets on the field. My personal opinion.
Okay.
But week 10, we got the Packers traveling. The Jordan Love Packers led. Jordan Love led Packers traveling to Pittsburgh. This is an interesting game. I'm not really sure what to make of the Packers. I'm not sure what to make of Jordan Love. Everyone's saying he's made like incredible strides and he looks so good. He's played like 2 games. I mean, and the game that he made such incredible strides, it was okay. Like it was decent, but like I believe he was still playing with Devontae, or maybe it wasn't Devontae. Was it last year when he played?
Devontae Adams? Devontae Adams was at the Raiders last year.
No. Did Jordan Love play games last year?
Yeah, he played like 2.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of Jordan Love. I really do not. I think they're going to I think he's going to take his lumps and bruises. And I think the Steelers are a lump and bruising team. So I'm going to take the Steelers here.
It's funny that you say that, because I'm actually going to oppose you. I'm going Green Bay here. It's not necessarily because I think Jordan Love's going to be like an amazing prospect. I just think that it's going to be tough to game plan for Green Bay, because this team looks completely new without Aaron Rodgers there. So it's like, what is Jordan Love going to be able to do? And I think Green Bay's defense is actually going to be better than people give it credit for. It's just going to come down to their offense. And, maybe they run a different scheme. I mean, you still have the same play caller, but I don't know. I think this is just one of those upset games. I think that people are going to overlook Green Bay, and I think they could surprise some teams as well. So give me Green Bay.
I really wouldn't call it an upset. Both these teams are similar to me. I think
Yeah.
they're both like oddly similar. They both have like good running backs. They have some wide receiver weapons. They have unproven quarterbacks. Coaching, I'd have to give it to Tomlin. I'm not really sold on what's his name, Matt LaFleur yet.
Yeah.
We'll see what if he can win with Jordan Love and prove that he's didn't need Aaron Rodgers or whatever. Maybe I'll have some more faith in him, but we'll see. Week 11, I had the Browns beating the Steelers.
Same here.
And week 12, I had the Bengals beating the Steelers, so they win 2, drop 2.
Yep, I have them losing as well. So I have them losing 3.
So week 13, they play the Cardinals in Pittsburgh. I think they get back on track here.
Same. So do I.
Yeah. That one's not hard to go against, I don't think, right now. Week 14, this is an interesting matchup.
I think this is going to be a good matchup.
I do too. We got the New England Patriots traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday night. And both these teams are oddly identical. They're both middle of the pack, unproven quarterbacks. I don't really know this quarterback situation. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Bailey Zappi? I don't know. I do not know. They both have good defenses. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game.
I think that this used to be one of my favorite matchups to watch growing up. Pittsburgh Steelers against New England Patriots was always a good game. I'm not saying that it's going to be a bad game, but I definitely think that this is going to be a lower scoring game. I think this is going to be a great defensive battle. I have Pittsburgh actually taking this dub here because it's at home. I haven't seen enough from Mac Jones to think that he can pull this off. I think, like you said, these teams are very similar. That's why I'm going to go with the home crowd. Give me Pittsburgh.
Who have you seen more from, in your opinion? Mac Jones or Kenny Pickett? Because to me, I haven't seen enough from both quarterbacks. I mean, Mac Jones had his rookie quarterback year. It was pretty good. Decent. Yeah. And then last year was atrocious. But was it the play calling? Was it the offensive coordinator? And then Kenny Pickett, had a rough little start. I definitely think
Matt Patricia definitely had a hand in how the offense looked with New England last year. But a lot of this is also based off of Mac Jones' physical limitations. I think that he's a smart quarterback. He doesn't have a pack howitzer for an arm by any means, but he's pretty accurate and he reads the defense pretty well. It's just going to depend on like Ramondre Stevenson if he steps up. They got rid of Jacoby Myers, right? Am I tripping?
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's on the Raiders now.
Yeah, so we'll see what this team looks like. Bill Belichick always has a great defense. He just knows how to coach that defense up. And, I think that they had a better draft than in previous years. So I think that if any coach can coach up these rookies, it's Bill Belichick. He's been one of the best coaches of all time in the NFL. But, I think that they just don't have enough. I'm going with the home crowd.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home crowd as well. I still think the Patriots are mid, or whatever the kids are saying now. But oh wow, I do have them. All right, week 15, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the Colts on Saturday. Yeah, I'm gonna have them winning this game.
Same. Dude, right, I think I had the Colts losing to every AFC North team.
I mean, they are projected to be one of the worst teams this year. Yeah. Unless Anthony Richardson just plays like, Cam Newton rookie season and, sneaks into the playoffs, which honestly, I still think that division is wide open. I don't think it's locked down by the Jags. But yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers. Week 16, I had the Steelers beating the Bengals on Saturday. Dane, what did you have?
So did I.
Okay. Week 17. So right now I have them 9-6. Yeah,
I think we have them Seahawks. Yeah, it's very tough.
Revenge, Super Bowl revenge. The crowd's gonna be loud. It's in Seattle. I also think
I think the Seattle has more talent on it. I think that they're a more talented team. I think that they have bigger playmakers. I think DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and then adding Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be a dangerous trio of wide receivers. Plus, they have one of the best running back rooms I've ever seen. They keep addressing the defense. I think Seattle's going to be a solid team. So yeah, give me Seattle in this. Give me an L.
Yeah, and then I had I had the Steelers dropping their last game against the Ravens, week 18.
So did I.
I have the Steelers finishing 9-8, same as last year. Which
I have them honestly, going 9-8 as well. That's the first team that we've agreed on.
Honestly, I don't think that's far off base. I don't think, unless Kenny Pickett just makes leaps and bounds, I just don't know, man. This team has a lot of what ifs. You know, if TJ Watt going to play like defensive player of the year and stay healthy, is that defense going to be elite? What's the dude from Georgia? NFL young boy. What the heck is his name?
NFL young boy. George Pickens?
Is that his name? George Pickens? Yeah. Is George Pickens going to, establish that number one role? Is Deontay Johnson gonna?
I think it'll still be Deontay Johnson personally, but I think George Pickens, he's going to be kind of like a contested catcher. I mean, he makes some of the most ridiculous catches.
Yeah, and another thing is they need Najee, man. They need Najee, and they need that offensive line.
That's the biggest thing for me is the offensive line. And I think that they did address some of that in this year's draft, but you're going to be banking on rookies. So a lot of this is to be determined, but I think the Steelers have potential to be a 10-win team. I think that that's probably their ceiling. I think we're kind of in the middle of the pack. I also think that they have a floor of maybe 7 wins. I don't see it because Mike Tomlin in his entire tenure has never had a losing career. This could be the first year, but we said that last year. And then look at the Steelers. They come back and they went 9-8. So this is a tough division. And I think that's only thing going against them because the other teams that they play, there are a lot of winnable games here. So because the division's so tough is kind of why I'm a little bit lower on their record. And, having Cincinnati Bengals, one of the top teams in the entire NFL in your division is never an easy task. So,
yeah, I think best case scenario, I think they win 11 games. I think that's their ceiling. Ceiling, maybe possibly win a playoff game, and probably that's about it. I think, like you said, their worst case scenario is Tomlin has his first losing record, 7-win season, and they go back to the drawing board. So, right on.
All right, guys, that is going to do it. I love doing record predictions. I think it's a lot of fun, just shoot the shit. Jake, how's your stomach? How are you feeling? Any cramps, anything like that?
Nah, dude, I've felt good, man. I mean, the first 10 minutes was the most brutal. I feel good now, though. I haven't had any cramps. Maybe the Pepto-Bismol trick helped a lot.
I'm so happy I told you about that.
I'll have to call you and tell you if I'm suffering in bed. But this was a fun episode. I really like. This is probably my favorite
series.
Yeah. Besides actually talking about games or playoff predictions, but so I just want to tell people before we close out, we're gonna do every team, every division for the next couple weeks, and then before the season starts, we are gonna do 2023, bold predictions, Super Bowl predictions, award predictions. We're gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna have I think we're gonna try to do a bold prediction for every team, and then it should be the start of the season. Mini camp is starting now, I believe. So.
Training camp should be starting the 24th or 25th.
Camp. Yeah, my fault. Yeah. My mini camp. Training camp is starting soon. Football is just right around the corner. Get your fantasy shit in order. But anything, Dane?
Guys, we really appreciate you listening in. Hopefully you guys like this series that we're going to be doing. This is an improved series that we're basically continuing from last year, but this time we got graphics. We're able to show you our record predictions, so it's kind of cool. And we wrote them down this time, or at least I did, so that way we have them on hand.
Hopefully,
and we're
mine
not going to lose
saves.
them. Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully
Well,
mine
I
saves.
wrote yours down as well.
Okay, cool. Always
So,
have
yeah.
a hard copy.
Yep.
All right. There it is. That was the AFC North 2023 record predictions. Thank you for listening. And as always, peace.